Live from WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, anchors Lisa Sugar and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Thursday, June 13th, 2013. I'm Ann Gownley. Tonight I'm joined by Dr. Clark Gerhard, who has details on a new interactive learning space for children in the Hazleton area called KidTown. And exchange students at Penn State Hazleton are here to learn about entrepreneurship. Lisa Sugar has that story. In sports, Beth Mensinger has highlights from tonight's Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs game as they took on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. And Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacek will have your weekend forecast. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. A local judge appears headed to state Supreme Court. Governor Tom Corbett says he will nominate Superior Court Judge Coriel Stevens to the state Supreme Court. A seat is open on High Court after Joan Ori Melvin resigned after being convicted of corruption charges. Stevens is from Hazleton. Prior to Superior Court, he was a judge in Commonwealth Court, and before that, a Luzerne County judge. Prior to that, he'd been the county DA, and further back, he was the state representative from the 116th Legislative District. Corbett's expected to make the nomination tomorrow. The state Senate will have to confirm the nomination by a 2/3 vote. There was a lot of talk about crime at the Wilkes-Barre City Council meeting tonight. Our Ken Kara was there and spoke with one resident who was very passionate about fighting back against crime in his neighborhood.
Sean Walker and his family were trying to mind their own business when it came to crime in their neighborhood. Walker says for a while he tried to shut his door and ignore the reality around him. He can't do that anymore, and he spoke up at tonight's council meeting.
One night as I sat in my vehicle gathering my work belongings, one of prospective drug dealers jumped into my car in my passenger seat. A few weeks after that, my 10-year-old son, my 17-year-old son were in the middle of the street playing skateboarding, where two vehicles then came up behind them and completed a drug transaction, which alerted my oldest son to call me. By the time I got there, that activity had been completed and done away with.
After the meeting, he felt positive something could be done about these problems.
Boots on street, as I've heard it referred to, is absolutely critical and necessary to fight crime. But crime prevention, I think, is a completely different thing. So we have to invest in different activities in order to get to root cause, which I believe is a direct result of the disease called poverty and the degradation of our families and the degradation of our education system. All plays into this epidemic.
So get the community involved and maybe attack these issues? You think it's possible?
Absolutely. I've done some research on this topic in cities like Newark, I believe Oakland, and Cincinnati and or Cleveland. They've been able to mitigate crime when community and government work together.
Walker wasn't the only one who mentioned crime tonight. Before the public comment portion of the meeting, Council Member George Brown brought up some of his concerns he has heard from his constituents. Mayor Tom Layton followed up those comments by saying that crime is down in the city and that people think there is more of it because there are more arrests being made by police, including a bunch in the past few months.
In the last 45 days, we've taken 34 high-level violent drug dealers off the streets of Wilkes-Barre. We've taken 19 dealers off the street, and there have been 106 drug arrests in the first 5 months. So that's a total of 159 drug dealers that have been taken off the streets by our officers and other law enforcement agencies.
Justin Vakula from the Northeast Pennsylvania Free Thought Society brought up concerns about prayer at the council meetings. Vakula urged council to stop doing a pre-meeting prayer, saying that it is divisive, inappropriate, exclusionary, and unnecessary. Council Chairperson Bill Barrett says council will look into the legality of this issue. There were also several residents who brought up concerns about dogs in the city, mentioning pit bulls several times. Council members, while acknowledging their problems, say there's not much they can do by way of an ordinance. A few people also brought up concerns over the city's towing contract. In Wilkes-Barre, for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Ken Kara.
Well, after a 6-month investigation, Butler Township Police have arrested a man for selling heroin. 31-year-old Dixon Francisco of Drums was arrested by police last night after police searched his home at 417th South Hunter Highway in Butler Township. Seized from Francisco's home was over 100 packages of heroin worth nearly $2,000, individually packaged syringes and marijuana, more than $700 in cash, a .357 caliber handgun, 2 rifles, 10 cell phones, a digital scale, and a sword.
There was no resistance at all when we entered the residence. And it was through the assistance of our department, Hazelton City, Luzerne County Sheriff's Department, working through the Luzerne County Drug Task Force.
According to police, Francisco's drug business increased dramatically over the past 2 weeks after the drug raid on East Diamond Avenue by the Hazelton Police on June 4th. Surveillance officers observed vehicles from several surrounding areas entering the home. Police were also notified multiple times by other residents alleging the sale of heroin from the apartment. Francisco was arraigned last night in front of Magisterial Judge James Dixon. He was charged with 2 counts each of delivery of a controlled substance and use of a communication facility, 1 count each of possession with intent to deliver and a possession of firearm. Francisco is now behind bars at the Luzerne County Prison for lack of $75,000 straight cash bail. A preliminary hearing is set for June 17th at 9 a.m. Luzerne County's idea on how to fix the botched school board primary will cost less than first expected. County Chief Solicitor Dave Pedri says the bill will run around $2,300. That's far less than the $10,000 initially thought. Luzerne County's Election Bureau failed to inform Schuylkill and Carbon County election bureaus that Steve Hahn withdrew as a candidate but was still on the ballot in those 2 counties. Attorney Bill Vinsko is representing 25 voters who filed a petition to have the results nullified and election done over. Pending court approval, Luzerne County would print and mail absentee ballots to Schuylkill and Carbon voters in the school district race alone. No tax hike in the Weatherly Area School District. The school board unanimously approved the $11.4 million budget. It includes a $561,000 deficit, which will be covered by transferring funds from the fund balance. Well, ever wonder how much items are worth that you are stored away? Well, residents of Heritage Hill in Weatherly and members of the community were invited to bring their possessions to see how much it was worth by J&J Auction Services this afternoon at Heritage Hill Senior Living Community.
I've been doing this for 32 years as an auctioneer, and my knowledge is vast in the business. I have good knowledge in tons and tons and tons of items, and Lisa has invited me here to look at the stuff that the folks have, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
We're told that many who brought things had the opportunity to cash them in once appraised. Well, the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts will present The Outsiders starting this weekend at the J.J. Ferrara Center in downtown Hazelton. Director Lisa Doherty says there are at least 31 young men in this play, along with a few young women, all from high schools throughout Luzerne County.
Well, The Outsiders is based on the classic teenage tale written by S.E. Hinton when she was 16 years old. It's a pretty popular novel that most of our students get to read in middle school, and the stage play was based on that, as well as the really popular movie that starred Rob Lowe and Emilio Estevez and Patrick Swayze. This is the stage adaptation, where the story tells of Ponyboy and his gang of greasers and their daily battles with the Socs, or the rich kids, until one night an unexpected tragedy happens that ultimately teaches the lesson that perhaps both groups aren't as different as they thought they were.
We also spoke with a few of the young actors who gave us tips on their acting techniques.
The best thing that you can do when it comes to doing shows is just keep going over and over, and it just becomes a point where it's just natural, and so it just comes to you as soon as you hit the stage.
Well, it's different. This is my first drama at the PTPA, so it's really different, and it's kind of a great experience. I wish we would do more dramas, although I do love musicals. It's just a lot of fun.
I've had a good, fun couple of years at the PTPA, and this is my first lead role in a play. I'm really excited.
Curtain goes up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. For tickets, you can call the PTPA at 454-5451 or visit ptpashows.org. And stay tuned here for Late Edition for more information on how you can win a pair of tickets to see The Outsiders coming up after Joe's weather forecast. If you drive Church Street near the former St. Joe's Hospital, you may notice something new. This new sign was put up at streets as a way to get the word out about upcoming events at the Wiltsey Center. The sign was worked on by students at the Career Center at the Hazleton area.
The Wiltsey Center wanted some way to advertise what was going to be playing there, and they didn't have power there at the time, so we got a grant from Partners in Education, and we bought a solar cell to supply lighting and a timer and some other electrical things so they could have lights up there.
My part in the sign was the original design of it, how it would look. We put a planter box up there, we drew the planter box, passed a couple ideas around, chose what we were going to do, passed that on to the construction teacher who was going to actually build the planter box and implement it. My students did all the blueprints for that. His students did the construction of that. My students cleaned the plexiglass, put a new coating of vinyl over every piece, and then made the graphics that you see on the sign right now.
The sign was made possible through a grant from Partners in Education and hard work of both teachers and their students. Governor Corbett fired the Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources today. Corbett issued a news release saying that he had just asked for and received the resignation of Richard J. Allen earlier. He did not say why. Allen has led DCNR since Corbett took office. Corbett named Eileen Ferrardi the acting DCNR secretary. She'd been the deputy secretary for Parks and Forestry. The man who inspected a building on Market Street before it collapsed last week in Center City, Philadelphia, killing 6 people, was found dead last night in an apparent suicide. Police say 52-year-old Ronald Wagenhofer was found dead in his car from a gunshot wound to the chest about 9 p.m. Wednesday. Documents say the city released after the building at 22nd and Market Street's collapse say Wagenhofer inspected the property. His superiors say he didn't do anything wrong. The June 5th collapse left 6 people dead and 13 injured when a 4-story building, which was being demolished, toppled onto an adjoining Salvation Army thrift store. The 10-year-old suburban Philadelphia girl who got an adult lung transplant yesterday said to be doing fine. Sarah Mernhocken is still recovering in the ICU of Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. Her mother, Janet Mernhocken, posted on Facebook that her doctors were pleased with both her progress during the procedure and her prognosis for recovery. There were no complications with resizing the transplanting the adult donor lungs. The girl's family sued prevent the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services from enforcing a policy that prevents children under the age of 12 from getting adult lung transplants, even if they are extremely ill. Well, today marked the last day of school for Hazleton Area School District. WYLN was there as students were dismissed from the high school campus for the last time this school year. As the students left today, many of them said they were ready for summer break. Remember, WYLN will be broadcasting the Hazleton Area graduation live Friday night at 6 p.m. right here and only here on WYLN. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with Joe Garbacic in the Weather Center. Joe, are we going to continue to see more rain this weekend?
Well, we still have some rain to deal with as we head through at least part of the overnight hours, but then not looking too bad for this upcoming weekend. We'll talk about it coming up next.
WYLN TV 35 is looking to hire a highly motivated, energetic salesperson for the Hazleton and surrounding areas. We offer a competitive salary and benefits package. Call 956-5772.
Oh my God, look at those two over there. Hey, you two, how'd you get to look so good?
We went to the Lazy Dog Salon at 525 North Broad Street in West Hazleton. They handle all our grooming, dematting and brush outs, heavy de-sheds, clippered or hand-scissored cuts, nail clipping and filing, ear care, and more.
Ooh, and they offer baths too, like all-natural baths to enhance our coats, medicated baths, hypoallergenic, flea and tick, de-skunk, and more.
Wow, I'm making my appointment today.
Me too. The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce welcomes all vendors and crafters to participate in a downtown Hazleton Farmers Market beginning Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 20 West Broad Street. To become a vendor, call 570-455-1509 or email info@hazletonchamber.org. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage Sure Save, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week we have a special offer for WYLN viewers. Spend $50 on a single transaction and receive an 8-inch decorated Father's Day cake free.
When severe weather hits our area, the WILN Weather Center brings you precise weather information you need to plan your day. And now you can get the latest weather conditions online anytime at WILNTV.com. Utilizing the latest technology, meteorologist Joe Garbacic brings you the most accurate weather information available, including webcams to view current road conditions and detailed maps of our area. For a full, detailed, and accurate daily weather report, watch WILN Weather with Joe Garbacic weekdays at 5 and 10 and online anytime at WILNTV.com.
Well, we continue to see some rain across our area. We did get some breaks in it earlier today and into the evening hours, but some more rain coming through our area. Here's a look at our live 35 Skycast Doppler. Darker greens indicating the moderate rain, and even some of the yellow, some of those locally heavy downpours that we've been experiencing. And again, this is continuing to make its way toward the east, and as you head further out toward the west, not a whole lot going on. So this rain will start to move out as we head through tonight. And as we go into tomorrow, still can't rule out the possibility of a shower or two around, or even a possibility of a thunderstorm. And then for Saturday, looking very nice across our region. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, 54 degrees, humidity coming in at 100%, and we've picked up now 92/100ths of an inch of rainfall since midnight. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 64 and 55. The averages are 77 and 56. 92 and 40. Records still stand, 531, 837, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. So generally in the 50s we had last night into this morning, some areas in the 60s, and then again with the temperatures out there today, and depending upon where you were, some locations did get up into the 70s, elsewhere only in the 60s because of those overcast skies and rain. And speaking of rain, here's a look at some of the rainfall we've had over the past 24 hours. So we did see a decent amount of rain across our area. 53 now in New Angola, 61 in Berwick, 61 in Jim Thorpe, 59 in Shenandoah, 60 degrees in Monoy City. Satellite and radar, some severe weather down toward the south. There were severe thunderstorm watches. They have since expired. And you can see the tail end of this precipitation here. And out toward the west, a few more showers and storms that have formed and are out there. Now as we go through tonight, we start to dry things up. Notice tomorrow morning, not looking too bad across our area. But then as we progress through maybe late morning, early afternoon, again, could be looking at a couple of stray showers that can develop. Maybe the possibility of a thunderstorm. And then as we start going into the evening hours, notice how they start to move out. And I think we start to see conditions improve. And like I said, heading into the weekend for Saturday, things looking very nice across our area. Tonight, though, we could be looking at some upper 40s, lower 50s. Tomorrow, 60s in some areas in the lower 70s. Another cool, comfortable night for tomorrow night, dropping down into the upper 40s, lower 50s, and noontime hour on Saturday. Notice temperatures generally in the 70s. Could be some upper 60s out there. So still, that chance of a little bit of some rain for tomorrow, but then after that, it starts to get much nicer across our area for this upcoming weekend. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys Division of Arc Electric. For Saturday, plenty of sunshine, about 72 degrees. A shower or storm around for Sunday, 72. And then we continue to remain in the 70s as we go into next week. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery numbers, the daily, 9 and 9, 8. The big 4, 3, 8, 9, 6. Quinto numbers looking like this: 79793, and a cash 5, 6, 13, 18, 19, and 43. Back to you, Ann.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, I'm joined by Dr. Clark Gerhard, who has details on a new interactive learning space for children in the Hazleton area called Kidtown. Now time for a chance to win tickets to see the Pennsylvania Theater Performing Arts in Hazleton's performance of The Outsiders. The Outsiders is a coming-of-age drama about a group of teenage boys trying to find their place in the world, and we have a pair of tickets for one lucky viewer. Call us now at 459-1869, extension 1172. Leave your name, number, and town, and we'll draw one name at random. This is for the 10 p.m. newscast only, and remember, you can only win once every 60 days. So call now, and good luck.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure exploring parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and it's free. This year's Passport has more than 30 stops. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre and Pittston. Explore the Delaware and Lehigh National Heritage Corridor and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them in on the website. Start exploring today.
Hi, I'm Liz Tolan. I'd like to invite you to the first annual COPS event. It's taking place on September 21st right here at the Butler Township Community Center. This event, brought to you by WILN 35 in Hazleton, the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, and other area sponsors, will consist of a 5K run, 5K walk, kids fun run, open-air concert, free cookout for the community, crafters, tricky treats, and so much more. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit 4 area police departments. When you call these men and the men and women they serve with, they're going to be there for you. Won't you take one day out of your busy schedule and be there for them?
High Mountain Craft Beer Festival is Saturday, June 22nd from 1 to 5 at the Best Western Genetti Inn and Suites in Hazleton. The festival benefits the Hazleton Rotary Scholarship. Come sample over 40 great craft beers, taste some great food, and listen to some great music provided by one of Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier cover bands, Ostrich Hat. You must be 21 to enter, and tickets are available in advance or on the day of the festival. Craft beer lovers, don't miss the High Mountain Craft Beer Festival, Saturday, June 22nd.
Join us at Carmen's Country Inn, where Happily Ever After begins on Sunday, June 30th from noon until 3 for the wedding show of the season, Beautiful Beginnings. The area's finest in service and products will be on hand to show you how you can make your dream day come true. Enjoy a fashion show by Wedding Bells Bridal Shop. Sample a wine designed especially for the occasion by Simply Homebrew. Not planning a wedding? Join us anyway for great ideas on how to make your next social event spectacular. Join us and bring your friends. This event is free and open to the public.
Welcome back to Late Edition. I am now joined by Dr. Clark Gerhard, who has a very interesting project, an exciting project coming to the Hazleton area. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it? And it involves the kids of the area.
Yeah, well, it is exciting because, we all know that the breakdown of the family and society has been a major problem we're facing in America, not just in Hazleton, but really throughout our society. And we really believe that a big part of that is because young people have really lost kind of their moral rudder. They're really set adrift in relativity, and we're hoping to bring that back as an effort through Hill City Church to bring some spirituality back into young people's lives, to give them that foundation to build a strong community on, so where they can learn to interact peacefully, and things like that. We all know there's racial tension, there's all sorts of tension that's disrupting our community. Well, we help to bring some of that back, bridge some of those those divides that are separating us by starting with the young people and hopefully changing generations to come.
And to do that, you also just recently now have a building in
We
the
did.
Hazleton area.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting. You want to tell everyone about that?
We're just so excited about our new facility. It's at 600 South Poplar Street. It's in the Printmark building, so it's a huge warehouse, and we're going to take this cool industrial space and build literally a little town for young people. It's called Kid Town, and it's where we can do Christian education for children in elementary school ages. You know, we're going to make facades, building facades, so it looks like Main Street of old America, a place where kids want to be. You know, unfortunately, although churches are great and kids, you know, have learned great things in churches throughout years and centuries in America, we see young people drifting away, and they're really losing interest in faith and in religious things. And that's partly because our world is so technological. I mean, they have iPads and iPhones and just everything dynamic and interactive, and yet we haven't always kept up with that spiritually. So we're going to try to create a very interactive, dynamic, exciting space they want to be in, and that's called Kid Town.
Tell me a little bit about, I mean, obviously for you to get this building and to have all these ideas, you had to get some feedback. Have you gotten feedback about this, and what has it been?
We've actually studied it thoroughly, not only big concepts like how to reach the postmodern generation and how they think and what they respond to, but also locally doing some focus groups, getting interaction from local people, and really finding out our needs.
What else what are any special projects inside there? I mean,
yes.
You say a town.
Yeah.
What kind of activities for kids?
Well, there's going to be a youth center we're calling the Warehouse, so it's going to look like an old warehouse with pipes and you know, old machinery, again, decorations to make it feel cool and inviting. Skate park inside is our goal. Other activities like volleyball, basketball, but also have youth music venue. I mean, young people are really into music, and if we can create a venue where they can come out with their local bands and play and entertain kids their age in a constructive environment where they can hang out and be young people, have fun, but get really an infusion into their spiritual lives as well.
Obviously, we're both on here right now talking about this to get the word out to the community. And what are some other things that you want to reach out to them about?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, this really is a community effort. It's something that we want to change Hazleton, greater regional area for the good. And we'd like the community to get behind this and help take part in this. They can help by volunteering. They can help by donating stuff. I mean, we need old building supplies because we're going to build some old roofs and patios and things, and also donating financially. We're going to be having a fundraiser starting in the next few weeks, all through Hill City Church. They can contact me directly. Clark Gerhardt at epics.net is the easiest way. They can also look for thehillcitychurch.com.
And my next question, I'm sure a lot on everyone's mind, when do you plan to have this all up and running?
Well, we're starting construction July 15th. We expect that to take about 6 weeks and open for the new ministry year starting in the fall with the school year to coincide with other youth activities in the fall. So September we're hoping to be up and running.
All right, well, good luck with everything, and we'll keep all of you updated as well on the happenings up at the Warehouse and Kid Town and everything exciting for the youth of our area. Well, thank you very much. We'll hope to hear from you soon. Good luck.
Right.
All right, well, coming up next, Beth is in with the first half of sports with highlights from tonight's Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs game as they took on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, only on WYLN.
When it comes to the wire, guys, you are going to have an amazing experience. And if it means giving you back your money, plus, I'm going to do it. Guarantee everything. 112% money back guarantee. Labor and material guaranteed for a year. So you don't really need to worry about it. You're going to walk up to the wall, throw the switch, put your power cords in the outlets, and everything is the way it's supposed to be. Call me. Your time is valuable. If we're late, you get paid.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, announcing how everybody can make the Grand Central connection with the grand opening of our second location on Route 93 across from Berger Family Dealerships. During our grand opening celebration, take part in our weekly $300 Hazel Park gift certificate giveaway. Grand opening price is up to 50% off, free delivery, and up to 36 months interest-free financing. And remember, shop Grand Central, where your house becomes a home.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road near Rockland. 384-2314.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Tingo is going to share some advice with our viewers on how they can age gracefully and be healthy and fit throughout all the seasons of their life. It's coming up this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Join us.
Tonight, it's more than just a win in the International League. A trophy is on the line. The winner of the 16-game series throughout the season between the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders will be the winners of the new Iron Rail Trophy. The trophy itself is in the process of being made, and it will be commissioned from a piece of reconditioned railroad track iron. There are some other perks, including the general managers of the losing team, Rob Crane with the Rail Riders and Kurt Landis of the Iron Pigs, will need to put on a dress and sing a song of the other team's choice. The Rail Riders own a 48-32 lead in the all-time series going back to the Iron Pigs' first season in 2008. Last year, the two split the series 8-8. In the event of another split, the team that wins the last game will be crowned the champ. And tonight, that Iron Rail series kicked off at Coca-Cola Park in Allentown. Carlos the Bull Zambrano getting the start for the Iron Pigs tonight as they hosted the Rail Riders. Zambrano was signed by the Phils as a minor league free agent in May and has done well working his way up the ranks. The Pigs sporting, let's say, interesting jerseys tonight. Going to the first inning, Rail Riders get their bats on the ball, but the defense backing up Zambrano for a quick 3 outs. Top of the second, Dan Johnson up to the plate, and he will go down in the strikeout. It's the first strikeout of the night for Carlos. Moving to the third, Cody Grice. He will strike out at the hands of Zambrano, but then Big Z will give up his first hit of the night to Walter Ibarra. It's a single, moving a runner to third, but the Pigs will get out of the inning unharmed. Moving to top 4, Ranier Mustelier will be walked, and Dan Johnson will get a double off Zambrano's pitch. Mustelier moves to third. Then Josh Bell will get to the plate for the Rail Riders. He will get the sac fly RBI as Mustelier crosses the plate. Rail Riders go up 1-0. Bases will be loaded for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And Zambrano, unfortunately, will walk Alberto Gonzalez. Johnson will walk home. For the run, Zambrano showing that emotion that he is so known for. He will be taken out after 5. He gives up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. Cody Overbeck hits a solo in the 6th for the Pigs. Darren Ruff hits another in the 7th. They will win the final in a rainy Allentown. Iron Pigs 4, Rail Riders 2. Also in the International League, the Tide set to take on Louisville, but with the weather, that one was postponed. And today, the Penn State Nittany Lions football team released their post-spring workout depth chart, and there are a ton of position battles going on before their first game at the end of August. In all, 16 starters and 38 letter winners are returning for the Lions. On the offensive side of the ball, sitting second for the right tackle, West Scranton grad senior Eric Shrive. At number 2 for wide receivers behind Allen Robinson, Wyoming Valley West former quarterback and redshirt freshman Eugene Lewis. Lewis is also listed at number 6 for kick returners. On the defensive side, in the number 1 spot for the outside linebackers, Valley View grad and redshirt freshman Naeem Wortman. As for the top safety, right now it is a toss-up between Selinsgrove grad Ryan Kaiser and Malcolm Willis. Kaiser also listed as the number 1 holder for special teams. And lastly, probably the most questioned position, who will be this year's starting quarterback. With the graduation of Matt McGloin, the depth chart lists 2 at the top, sophomore Tyler Ferguson and true freshman from Palmyra, Virginia, but with local roots to the Tamaqua area, Christian Hackenberg. The Nittany Lions will play their first game of the season August 31st at MetLife Stadium against the Syracuse Orange.
And lastly, in tonight's first half, 2 local student athletes recently announced their plans to play their sports in college. Jonathan Sullivan from Hazleton Area High School will be studying criminal justice at Waynesburg University in Western Pennsylvania. Sullivan, a transfer student, played first and third for the Cougars baseball team this year. We asked him how his senior year went and why he picked Waynesburg.
Transfer student this year from Marian Catholic down to Tamaulipa, and I came here to play my last year. They have a really good criminal justice program, and their baseball program is pretty good too. I just plan on working my way into the lineup, and hopefully we'll go from there.
And from Crestwood High School, senior goalie for the Comet soccer squad, Stephen Rarick, will be attending Slippery Rock University. Rarick was a 4-year starter for Crestwood and also held the captain's role. In both his senior and junior years, he was named to the Wyoming Valley Conference Division I First Team All-Conference. Rarick played in 50 matches, made 581 saves, and had 15 shutouts. Good luck to both of the athletes. Stick around, Ann Gownley's coming back with your top story recaps.
You work hard at fundraising events for your organization. What better way to raise awareness to your cause than to wear a custom embroidered or screen printed shirt from CTC Apparel Plus. CTC makes it easy to create t-shirts that get your message out. Not only do we have packages at different levels that are affordable, but the t-shirts will be name brand, stylish, and comfortable. All it takes is a minimum of 25 shirts to start promoting. There are no setup fees or deposits required. Call CTC today at 570-454-3754. Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WILN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WILN TV 35. See the Major League stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WILN TV 35. Visit WILNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WILN, your home for live sports.
Welcome back to Late Edition, recapping tonight's top stories. A local judge appears headed to the state Supreme Court. Governor Tom Corbett says he will nominate Superior Court Judge Coriel Stevens to the state Supreme Court. A seat is open after Joan Ori Melvin resigned after being convicted of corruption charges. Stevens is from the Hazleton area. Prior to Superior Court, he was a judge in Commonwealth Court, and before that, a Luzerne County judge. Corbett's expected to make the nomination tomorrow. The state Senate will have to confirm the nominations by a 2/3 vote. Well, there was a lot of talk about crime at the Wilkes-Barre City Council meeting tonight. Our Ken Kara was there and spoke with one resident who is very passionate about fighting back crime in his neighborhood.
Sean Walker and his family were trying to mind their own business when it came to crime in their neighborhood. Walker says for a while he tried to shut his door and ignore the reality around him. He can't do that anymore, and he spoke up at tonight's council meeting.
One night as I sat in my vehicle gathering my work belongings, one of prospective drug dealers jumped into my car in my passenger seat. A few weeks after that, my 10-year-old son and my 17-year-old son were in the middle of the street playing skateboarding, where 2 vehicles then came up behind them and completed a drug transaction, which alerted my oldest son to call me. By the time I got there, that activity had been complete and done away with.
After the meeting, he felt positive something could be done about these problems.
Boots on street, as I've heard it referred to, is absolutely critical and necessary to fight crime. But crime prevention, I think, is a completely different thing. So we have to invest in different activities in order to get to root cause, which I believe is a direct result of the disease called poverty and the degradation of our families and the degradation of our education system all plays into this epidemic.
So get the community involved and maybe attack these issues? You think it's possible?
Absolutely. I've done some research on this topic in cities like Newark, I believe Oakland, and Cincinnati and or Cleveland. They've been able to mitigate crime when community and government work together.
Walker wasn't the only one who mentioned crime tonight. Before the public comment portion of the meeting, Councilmember George Brown brought up some of his concerns he has heard from his constituents. Mayor Tom Layton followed up those comments by saying that crime is down in the city and that people think there is more of it because there are more arrests being made by police, including a bunch in the past few months.
In the last 45 days, we've taken 34 high-level violent drug dealers off the streets of Wilkes-Barre. We've taken 19 dealers off the street, and there have been 106 drug arrests in the first 5 months. So that's a total of 159 drug dealers that have been taken off the streets by our officers and other law enforcement agencies.
Justin Vakula from the Northeast Pennsylvania Free Thought Society brought up concerns about prayer at the council meetings. Vakula urged council to stop doing a pre-meeting prayer, saying that it is divisive, inappropriate, exclusionary, and unnecessary. Council Chairperson Bill Barrett says council will look into the legality of this issue. There were also several residents who brought up concerns about dogs in the city, mentioning pit bulls several times. Council members, while acknowledging their problems, say there's not much they can do by way of an ordinance. A few people also brought up concerns over the city's towing contract. In Wilkes-Barre, for WILN's Late Edition, I'm Ken Cara.
Thanks, Kenny. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with meteorologist Joe Garbacik. Joe?
Thanks very much, Ann. Yeah, I will get it right. It's Ann, yes. We'll talk about what we can expect this upcoming weekend and when will all the rain go away. I'll let you know in just a bit.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
I used to think that me and my dad were just building a car. I realize now that it was a lot more than that.
That's the one, bud. Okay, come here. What's this guy right here? You know what that is?
Find the parts you need at Harry's U-Pull-It. Visit us online at wegotused.com to shop our yard or visit us at one of our 3 locations in Pennsburg, Allentown, and Hazleton.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
Interesting things, you just need to know where to look. Come with us, off the beaten path.
Welcome back to Late Edition. What happens when students from a foreign country take part in a special exchange program here in the United States? As Lisa Sugart reports, the students from both countries get a unique learning experience.
Penn State's Hazleton campus is hosting 26 students from Norway, France, and Penn State for a 2-week seminar that focuses on entrepreneurship.
They come for 2 weeks on campus to take an entrepreneurship course as part of their college curriculum in Norway or France. And Sherry Robinson is the director of the program. She also teaches in Norway at the university, back and forth. So I been here for all 3 years as a more or less business mentor to these students and talked about starting businesses and entrepreneurship and helped them this year with these projects as far as developing a business idea and in some cases a physical product.
Jack St. Pierre is the executive director of Can Be. That is the business incubator for the greater Hazleton area that helps to kickstart new businesses.
Some of them will probably be in business for themselves at some point in their lives. In this group of 27, we have a fairly good mixture of ages. There are some moms with kids that are back to school and earning a degree, so they're a little more mature, they're a little further along. Some of them have been in business themselves, in service businesses in Norway. So I think the reaction is that they like the concept of being their own boss.
We caught up with the students on Wednesday as they were presenting their innovations to members of the Hazleton Rotary Club. Dr. Gary Lawler is Chancellor of Penn State Hazleton.
It's just been a really great experience for them to share their culture with us and for them to learn some entrepreneurship from Penn State. So we've been doing the program now for 3 years, and it's an important part of our summer international program where we bring in students from other countries. And so we're very proud today to be able to share what we've been doing with Rotary and with some other community members.
This special exchange came about as the result of a visit to Norway several years ago by Penn State professor Dr. Sherry Robinson. Now, 3 years later, students from both countries still look forward to this unique experience.
The culture is different here, or we experience different things here. Like the food here is really different from Norway. It's not the same at all. And the people here are very polite to each other. We don't have the same in Norway, like everyone called their teacher doctor if they got a doctor degree. We don't do that in Norway. We are always on first name. So that's different. We have done a lot of playing games and creativity games, and that's been very interesting. Have some lectures of marketing and stuff. That's been good too. So it's been a good experience being here.
Something we have noticed is more popular here than in Norway is the solar energy system. So that maybe is good to take back home. And what were other? Yeah, and they are much more creative here than in Norway. So we also want to take that back with us. We are much more theoretical back home. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah.
For a few days, they did a great job of developing the idea, getting it a little bit market researched. In some cases, they built prototypes, and they're ready today to present their ideas to a group of, I guess we'll call them judges from the Rotary Club, who will go around and see each of the 6 presentations and decide which ones they'd like to vote on as being first, second, third in that order for this competition.
Dr. Lawler says the program is also a major benefit for the students here at Penn State.
Well, it's really terrific because a lot of the Penn State students that are also in the class get to mix with the Norwegian students and just understand a little bit the difference between their cultures, etc. And the Norwegian students really just enjoy coming to America and seeing some sites while they're here, and also getting the internship, getting the entrepreneurship course.
Now, in addition to this competition, these exchange students also visit local landmarks to get an even better picture of life and work here in the United States. Reporting for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Lisa Sugart.
Thanks, Lisa. Coming up next, Beth is back at the desk with your national sports stories and scoreboard. You're watching Late Edition only on WYLN.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road near Rockland. 384-2314.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
The WILN Weather Center brings you precise weather information you need to plan your day. And now you can get the latest weather conditions online anytime at WILNTV.com. Utilizing the latest technology, meteorologist Joe Garbacic brings you the most accurate weather information available, including webcams to view current road conditions and detailed maps of our area. For a full, detailed, and accurate daily weather report, watch WILN Weather with Joe Garbacic weekdays at 5 and 10 and online anytime at WILNTV.com.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, serving the greater Hazleton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
I'm Tiffany Cloud. A few years ago, Luzerne County government changed to an 11-member county council. A new county manager was hired, and a year later, what is the state of the county? How do you think the county manager performed his first year on the job? Robert Lawton, Luzerne County manager, joins me this week on Storm Politics only on WYLN.
There's some sad news in the racing world. Last night, NASCAR driver Jason Leffler was pronounced dead after being involved in a dirt car crash at Bridgeport Speedway in New Jersey. The race was not related to NASCAR, but Leffler was at Pocono Raceway for the party in the Poconos this weekend. He finished in last place, driving only 8 laps. Leffler's resume included 2 wins on the NASCAR Nationwide Series. He was 37 years old. As we mentioned last night, Jason Kidd is the new coach of the Brooklyn Nets. He was formally introduced this afternoon. Details of his contract were not released. There are reports it's a 3-year deal, but a source with the Nets told the New York Times that wasn't true. Kidd has no coaching experience and retired as a player just a few weeks ago. The NBA's competition committee is recommending an expansion of instant replay to include late game reviews of block charge plays. That's the first time the league is considering reviewing judgment calls by a referee. The change would allow officials to get a slow motion look at a collision to deem whether it was a blocking foul on the defense or a charging foul on the offense. Eagles offensive tackle Jason Peters has been charged with drag racing in Louisiana. Police in Monroe say they saw a white Camaro and a blue sedan take off from a traffic light at 4:45 in the morning racing. The sedan pulled over when the police turned on his emergency lights, but the Camaro took off. Police chased, topping 100 miles per hour on Interstate 20 before the Camaro stopped in a shopping center parking lot. Peters was driving. The Eagles have not commented. He is also known as a car enthusiast. It is official. Matt Barkley will be wearing the green and white this upcoming NFL season. He and the Philadelphia Eagles struck up a 4-year deal. The former USC quarterback was picked up by Philly in the 4th round of the draft earlier this year. The amount of money in the rookie's contract has not been released. The All-Star managers have picked their coaches for Major League Baseball. The National League's Bruce Bochy picked the Mets' Terry Collins and Washington's Davey Johnson. The American League's Jim Leyland chose Robin Ventura of the White Sox and Joe Gibbons of Toronto. All 4 coaches have ties to the Mets. Johnson managed the Mets in the 80s, winning the World Series in 1986. Ventura played for the Mets' last NL pennant winner in 2000. And Gibbons is a former Mets player and minor league manager. The All-Star game is July 16th at Citi Field. The Pittsburgh Penguins have signed Evgeny Malkin to an 8-year, $76 million contract. Malkin, a two-time scoring champion and former MVP, is considered by management to be one of two franchise players for the Pens. The other is captain Sidney Crosby, who last year agreed to a 12-year extension worth over $104 million. With this new contract, which kicks in after next season, Malkin and Crosby will be tied to the Pittsburgh Penguins through the 2021-2022 season. Once again, the NHL is talking about the Phoenix Coyotes. Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly says it's possible the club will be somewhere else next year. The Coyotes were sold to a Canadian group which is negotiating with Glendale for a lease at the Jobbing.com Arena. Daly indicated a final decision may be made by the end of the month. Glendale City Council meets June 25th and a proposed lease is slated to be on its agenda. And the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters are for sale. The team has been held since 2005 by Los Angeles-based Shamrock. It put the team up for sale with a $50 million asking price. They'll throw in the opposition Washington Generals for free. The Harlem Globetrotters have been basketball ambassadors to the world since 1926. So everyone, get your wallets ready for that one. Now let's check out the NBA Finals. Spurs lead the series 2-1 against the Heat in the NBA Finals. Miami with the 2-point lead in the third. In the minors of baseball, Bowie and Reading in the rain delay in the seventh, tied at 3. Senators blow out Richmond 9-0, and Akron in New Hampshire was postponed. In the majors, some more extra innings. Yankees fall to the A's in 18 innings. Red Sox and the Orioles tied at 4 in the 10th, and Phillies up 1 on the Twins. Kansas City rocks the Rays 10-1, and in the bottom of the 9th, the Blue Jays are up 3-1. In the National League, Cards over the Mets in 14 innings. The Cubs win 6-5 against the Reds, and the Rockies fall to the Nats, and the San Francisco Giants shut out the Pirates 10-0 tonight. Stay tuned to see when the rain's going to stop. Joe Garbacek is coming back after the break.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. For chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and trophy trout fishermen, which is why we've built our new Discoverer AT3 for all traction, all terrain, all the time performance. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
For a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
And we've got just the dealer.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru. Yeah.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
Alrighty, well, we're sitting in the 50s outside our station in Hazleton, 53 degrees to be exact, humidity 100%. We've now picked up 96 hundredths of an inch of precipitation, so very soon we'll be going in the 1-inch mark since midnight. Now, we're still going to have to deal with some rain even as we head through the overnight hours. I think the chance of some leftover rain definitely cannot be ruled out. Again, the bulk of the rain that we've had around early, those heavy bands and everything, moving out of our area. Still some moderate to heavy rain here and there, but keep in mind that will move out through the overnight hours. We'll start to see improving conditions across our region. Our live 35 Skycast Doppler, eastern third of Pennsylvania, still dealing with the rain. A little bit heavy at times, especially by the darker greens. But again, that's making its way toward the east. And behind it, just some scattery shower activity out through central PA and then further out toward the west. Really not a whole lot going on across those regions. 56 now at the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, 54 in Mount Pocono, 63 in Selinsgrove, 62 in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures holding in the 50s to near 60 degrees. You can see what's left over of the moisture making its way toward the east. The skycast precipitation will dry things out a little bit through tonight. Going into tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon, a couple of scattered showers, possibility of a thunderstorm, but then they start to move out heading into tomorrow evening. So still a little bit unstable for tomorrow, but then heading into the weekend, things looking much nicer, especially for Saturday. Looks like we'll see a lot of sunshine. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys division of Arc Electric. Going into our Saturday, we're going to be looking at temperatures in the 70s. A shower or thunderstorm as we head into our Sunday, 72, and then a couple of scattered showers and storms around maybe for Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then generally holding in the 70s. Overall, not too bad.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
We do have a winner for the tickets to see The Outsiders, brought to you by the PTPA in downtown Hazelton. Jonathan Kashak of West Hazelton, congratulations. You and a lucky guest will go see The Outsiders. It's pretty exciting. And you have some sports news, too.
I just wanted to say, third quarter, just over 2 minutes, Miami Heat up 5.
I think I have the most important and exciting news here. I know Joe's pretty excited. Dave Yonkai will be back here tomorrow on Topic A.
We know, I don't even have to, we all know what's going to happen tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'll give you a preview.
Arguing, but
No. LA's going to be at the top saying, Yonkai's back! Yonkai's back! Yonkai's back! Do I need to say more?
I guess you'll have to tune in.
We'll
to find
tune in
out.
tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Dave Yonkai, LA Tyrone, Topic A, and back here, late edition at 10. Have a good night, everyone.
Helping your dollars go further every day. Stay here for fantastic bargains. This is Penny's Classifieds from WY.